I understand Mercury is changing signs, but this time for the better and not for the worse.
Yes, Mercury, the planet of communication, is leaving the sign of Cancer, where it's been since, golly, I can remember, into the sign of Leo. Whenever Mercury changes signs, it's what projects you're going to be working on or where you're going to be putting effort forth over a 3-week period, but it's intellectual effort rather than physical effort. So for Leos, it's about promoting themselves. It's about, they've been sitting back waiting for other people to say nice things about them and do things for them, and now the Leo has said, okay, Mercury's entered my sign for the first time in a year, and it's going to be about the Leo communicating about what it is the Leo wants and getting what the Leo needs, which is an important thing. And Leos in particular, because Mercury always represents younger people, they're going to want to solicit the input of younger people or work with younger people in order to really make the best of that energy. So Virgos, they got to be really careful, as I say this and think about myself. Mercury is in their 12th house of their own undoing. They have to be very, very careful with their words. And Virgos are very articulate and they're very wordy and they think they've got the right to tell anybody anything, and they'll get a poke in the jaw if they tell it to the wrong person. So they got to be really careful with what they say, that there really is no such thing as constructive criticism. Virgo needs to know that, so I will keep that in mind myself because I don't want my own words coming back at me. For Libras, Mercury's in their 11th house of hopes, wishes, goals, and objectives, and it's time for them to rally their younger male friends to help the Libra get what it is the Libra wants. And it's going to take a group of people working together that actually end up benefiting the Libra, which I think is a very cool thing when you can get other people to do stuff for you. For Scorpio, it's in their 10th house of career and public standing, and Scorpios are going to have to justify their professional existence to the powers that be to show them a really good reason why they hired them and why they have them there and why they're the right candidate for the job. And the one thing Scorpios can't do is exaggerate or embellish, because this time they'll get caught with that if they do. For Sagittarians, important matters at a distance, legal matters, educational matters, paperwork, contracts, any kind of negotiations are all being solidified over the next 3 weeks or so. And I got to tell you that it works out very, very well because it's in the Sagittarians' favor, which is good for guys like Bobby. For Capricorn, it is in their 8th house of other people's resources, other people's money. It is time for Capricorns to benefit from resources that either their partners have or the resources that they share with others. It's a good time to get a bank loan. It's a good time for stabilizing your finances, but not through your own earnings, but availing yourself of other people's resources. For Aquarians, it's in their 7th house of partners, and they really need to listen to what their partners have to say. Their partners have a legitimate beef of some kind, and the partners are going to try and talk about it for about 3 weeks, and if the Aquarian's smart, they'll make the corrections in the beginning of the 3 weeks rather than the end of the 3 weeks, because that's going to happen anyway. For Pisces, it's about work, it's about responsibility. Some sort of obstacle that had been in the Pisces way moves out of the way. Some sort of directive or ruling comes down. I'm not quite sure what it is, but it makes it easier for the Pisces to do their job. And also, Pisces has the medical test scheduled, and I got to tell you, the outcome is a lot better than they're afraid of. So don't be afraid to do that. For Aries, they want to have fun. Mercury's in their 5th house of love affairs, children, sports, amusements, pleasures. It's Aries' favorite time of year to party and vacation and just to have themselves a good old time. And they'll do that by hanging out with people younger than them rather than older than them. For Tauruses, it's in their home, and Tauruses are about to start doing a lot of pointing about what it is they want done, doing the directing on what they want done in their home to solidify their home and their foundations. And I just don't want them to be gaudy or tacky when they do it, because they've got big plans for it, not small plans. For Geminis, it's in their 3rd house of day-to-day living. The pace of their living is about to pick up to warp speed, and they've got things to do. Short distance, short duration travel is very likely. And if they're lucky, they can combine business and pleasure with a vacation where you go to some kind of seminar for your job, which would be my dream. And then for the last sign, for Cancers, it's about making more money. It's about them making more money through the fruits of their labor. It's actually about them making more money using their words or their ideas or their thoughts rather than manual labor. It's a matter of finding a way to capitalize on their own innate knowledge and what it is that they do. So that's tomorrow's news today for the 12 signs of the zodiac, with Mercury, the planet of communication, changing signs, going from Cancer into Leo.
Sounds good to me.
Always a pleasure.
See you next week.
Next time.